Hi guys, Kayong here. Welcome to another daily watch list video. Alright, so today we'll share with you a little bit more in terms of one of the trade that we took yesterday after the webinar, as well as what to look out for in today's trading session. Alright, so again, routine wise, we always look into what's some of the key events to focus on for this particular week. Alright, in the morning during the Asian session, we already have the RBA governor speaking, as well as New Zealand CPI and the monetary policy meeting minutes from Australia. So if you missed this, alright, it's good to always go and have a quick recap as to what is the current sentiment, what are some of the tone that the central bank governors has been talking about. Okay, because this gives you an overall picture as to moving forward in at least 1 to 2 weeks time, how would the currency behave, alright? What is the direction, what is the sentiment, what is the bias towards a certain particular currency. In this case, it's Aussie and Kiwi. Alright, and of course, later part on today during the UK session, we have the pound CPI. Again, just to remind everyone that pound currently is not really moving much according to the fundamentals, simply because of the immediate sentiment is way stronger than fundamental data. Alright, so pay attention to that. Later in the US session, it's interesting because we do have the CPI and core CPI coming in. Right, this will be crucial because it will really give more hint as to whether we will see a rate hike. Alright, and of course, all these are on top of the US presidential election debate. Right, so these are the few key things to take note of for this trading session. Over here, right, if you want a quick recap as to what happened in the Asia session, right, Forex Live provides you that, and if you just do a quick glance, right, just pick out those that is dealing with RBA. Alright, just want to point to you that highlights in the meeting minutes. Of course, these are all headlines, so if you are more hardworking, alright, we advise you to actually read the actual speech and the actual report, because this headline can be misleading for some headlines. It will be misleading because it's actually a secondary source which is written by a reporter or analyst. Okay, but it's still a good gauge. But you need to do your own due diligence to cross-check whether it's accurate. Okay, so what we do is we usually read them. But in this video, I can't go through the entire report with you. Okay, so I'll just bring you through some of the summary and comments that is over here, talking about appreciating Australian dollar could complicate economic rebalancing. This statement has been appearing in many of the RBA statement. Right, so what they are doing here is they want to always, a strengthening Aussie wouldn't help their export, right? So they are always using tone as a tool from central bank to kind of prevent the Aussie from rising too quickly and too high. And of course, over here is a positive one, all right? The RBA governor said that Australian interest rate is already very low, all right? So it's giving some hint to the market that it's very difficult for the RBA to have another rate cut in 2016 at least. Alright, but if you read into the monetary policy statement, of course, how they deal and how they make a certain decision is always still based on the economic performance. Alright, so still need to take note of how the economy data coming in from Australia dollar. Alright, but as of today, the current sentiment on Aussie will be more towards a positive side, more towards a bullish side. So if you have any short on the Australian dollar, you need to be aware of that. Alright, of course, Kiwi is included. Right, so let's go over to the chart. I want to share with you one particular trade that we took after the webinar yesterday. Alright, and I just want to share with you how we analyze the market. Alright, from starting planning into entering the trade, and then once we enter, how we manage the trade, and etc. Alright, and this particular trade review that I want to share with you is on the WTI. Alright, so it's the oil market. Alright, so what you see over here, intraday, I always trade on a H1, alright, but if you look at it on H4, previously it's an uptrend, alright, and then price is currently in a consolidation, right? And those who have been following us for some time, you know that during consolidation phase, we adopt a very particular strategy that deal with range environment, alright? Because when market environment changes, you need to have another strategy to tackle it, alright? So we need to be flexible and adaptive together with the market. Okay, so when market is in a range, again, we use a lot of Fibonacci, and then currently what I saw yesterday over here is that price is bouncing up and down. Alright, so if I pull in my Fib, alright, from this swing low to the recent swing high as of yesterday, we do see price retrace to a 61.8 Fibonacci, alright, and that gives us a potential pattern, All right, and the pattern which I trade, I use an extension from this swing to the other swing at 127. So you can see price dip down, all right, and it touches that zone, all right. So what I do in terms of engagement, in terms of whether I want to enter this trade, I always drop to the 15-minute for confirmation, okay, and I see that there is 2 pin bar on 15-minute, all right, testing the 127 area 2 times, 1, 2, all right, and then we have a very strong bullish engulfing for the 15-minute time frame, alright, and that's where you can see my entry over that. Okay, so I entered on this, and then of course we stopped just below the previous low over here, and my target. Alright, I don't aim for huge movement because it's an intraday, so I just simply aim for a 38.2 retracement for the most recent swing low. Alright, so you can see my target is hit. Of course, price can continue moving higher. Alright, but as a trader, we just want to capture certain targets that we aim for, that we expect that price will eventually reach. Right, so this is a quick one. It closed off as of yesterday. Right, just before the market, closed, before the US market closed. This trade gave me a profitable one. Alright, so this is for one of the trade that we take yesterday. Alright, so let's take a look at what we have in today's watch list. Euro dollar, nothing much as of now. Alright, in terms of dollar yen, the level still remains the same as of analyzed yesterday. Alright, we do have one key level that we're looking to long. Should price come back down, it's at 103.45. Alright, and of course the other one which is lower is, let me just take this away. Alright, the other one, I'm using the extension of 127. It's around 102.95. Alright, so for dollar yen, we're having 2 key levels that we are looking out for potential trades today. Okay, so we have CPI coming in, US CPI coming in during the US session, so that can potentially move this market. Alright, so keep an eye on that. Alright, again, you can see Aussie today, after that speech, it rallied. Alright, that's about 40 points, 40 pips, and if you are having a short setup, alright, we would advise that you might want to pay more attention to that because of the current sentiment in Aussie. Alright, so if I look at this, we were eyeing yesterday, alright, at this level, but price didn't really dip down sufficient to give us. So let me just clear everything to reassess this situation for today. Alright, it's very early stage, alright, but we do have a potential setup. Again, this is very low at the 88.6. Highly unlikely it will come down today. Right, and it's also a very early stage setup simply because price is currently still at the top. Right, we need price to dip all the way back down about 150 pips. All right, back towards this 7520 level area for a potential buy. But then again, it's still very early stage, so just keep an eye on this particular setup. All right, Kiwi Dollar. As you can see, yesterday we identified this area. Today we saw it. Okay, but because of the morning New Zealand CPI data coming in positive, giving it that sentiment, the sentiment of the Kiwi is positive right now. I won't be taking this particular trade. Right, that's one reason. The second reason is I don't usually enter trade during the Asian session. Right, I only start trading actively during the London, UK, all the way to the US session. Right, so for now, even though it's in the zone, I won't be taking any trades. Right, even if it drop into 15-minute time frame. We do have some form of reaction over here, but after that, price then starts to move higher back towards the area and then starts to consolidate. Alright, so again, if price starts to do this, it's not a high probability trade. Best is to just avoid it. Alright, so for Kiwi, other than this one that we identified yesterday, which personally I won't be taking it, is nothing much on the Kiwi Dollar. Alright, Dollar Canadian. Yesterday we eyed this, but price never really touched. As of now, nothing much. Alright, so let me just clear everything. Nothing much on this pair. So just keep an eye on it. Alright, Euro Yen, similar to Dollar Yen, price didn't really move much. So all the key levels identified yesterday is still valid. First one over here is at the 88.6 at 114.95. We'll be looking for a short opportunity if price comes back up. Alright, the other one I'm using is the 127 extension all the way up there. I don't think it's a 127 extension. Just do a quick measurement. Yeah, I'm using the 88.6 over here. Alright, the level that I'm looking up for is 115.55. Alright, so two key levels to look for short opportunity. Alright, so again, we always wait for confirmation and we only trade during the UK and the US session. Alright, Aussie Canadian, a quick check. We do have one. Let me just do the quick Fibonacci check. Alright, but it's very far on top. Alright, it's even out of this area, is at 127, so that's about 80 pips away. Yes, that's about 80 pips away. That's beyond the daily average moving range for Aussie Canadian, right? So I won't be putting this in today, alright. But if price continue to show upward movement, we might see that for tomorrow. Alright, so for Aussie Kiwi, let me just do a quick refresh. Yesterday level that we identified is definitely still valid, alright, but I'm actually looking at a potential setup. Let me just do a quick check. Alright, actually no. So the only level that we are looking for today, alright, will be at this level which was identified yesterday. It's still valid. It's at 1.0595, alright, so we need price to dip another 80 pips before we look for an opportunity to long the market. Alright, so other than that, for Aussie Kiwi, nothing much. Alright, this is just the only level that we are looking out for. Euro Aussie, alright, you can see Aussie is continuing to strengthen. It didn't really comes up to this level that we are looking for. So as of today, nothing much. Alright, so price is now at a very low, so we are waiting for it to at least turn to show us any potential one. Alright, EuroCAD is still valid at 61.8. Again, yesterday video I shared with you that this is not a very significant level, so it's a potential one, but not a high probability one. Alright, so just keep an eye on it. It's at 4560. Alright, 1.4560. If price comes up, we'll be looking for a short opportunity. Kiwi Canadian, nothing much according to my plan as well. Alright, so nothing much on this. Gold, nothing much. Alright, oil. Other than yesterday trade, we do have another potential one setting up. Let me do a quick check. Yes, alright, we do have another potential one, but it's all the way up here. Alright, so that's about 190 points away. Highly unlikely it's going to happen today, alright. So again, I won't be including this in today's watch list. But for if price continue to move higher, alright, I will include it in tomorrow. German DAX, nothing much according to the rule. S&P similar as of what we analyzed yesterday. Alright, up here at 127 extension at 2150. Alright, the area that we'll be potentially looking for a short. Again, if you zoom in the smaller level, we do have one as well over here. Alright, looking at the 88.6 Fibonacci. It will be at 2140. Alright, so this is around 2150. This is about 2140. Highly likely price will touch and test this area first, so look out for a form of confirmation and rejection to short the S&P at this level. Alright, so that's it for today's watch list video. It's slightly longer than the usual one, but because we added in more educational aspect towards today's video. Right, so hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.